Now we've already talked to his opponent. Now let's go to Lenox football coach Russell Dukes as they take on Armstrong-Ringsted. You guys probably know each other inside and out, Coach.
I don't think they have to trade film anymore. They know each other so darn well. You guys ought to know each other's playbook by now, Coach.
Yeah, I think we know what each other's going to do. Neither one of us are going to make a lot of changes at this time of year. We just think that it's a great opportunity for us just to be there again. So we really didn't care who we were going to play, but since it's Armstrong-Ringsted and Coach Zott, we know his team is going to be very fundamentally sound, ready to play. So, we're just kind of getting things lined up and ready to go.
There's a misconception out there with the 8-player game. It's come a long way, and defense has really changed. And one thing I want to bring out tonight is your defense. You've had an outstanding season, and I know offensively you put up some good numbers, but your defense has been steady, and solid all season long.
Exactly. And that was, since we've been playing 8-man for this is our 7th year. Our defense, I think, has just gotten stronger and stronger each year. We don't give up a lot of big plays. Our run defense is usually our strong suit. Our pass defense has been questionable in the past, but I think this year it's come around a lot better for us. But yeah, our defense is, we think we've got one of the tougher defenses in the state.
And, of course, in the 8-player game, your numbers are a lot shorter, so you have guys going both ways. So the question is, as you go to this championship game with Armstrong-Ringsted, both of you are going to have bumps and bruises and sores, but how are the overall health of your kids? How do they come out of that semifinal game?
We came out pretty good. We got a couple guys, like you said, with some bumps and bruises. We've got one kid that got his ankle twisted there towards in the fourth quarter. But, we'll be healthy to go by next Friday.
And that was DJ Brown?
Yes, sir.
How's he doing? So he'll be ready to play then?
Yeah, he was, at school today, he was walking around just fine. He went through practice and, never complained, just said, okay, let's, we know what we've got to do and what's on the table in front of us, and that's what he's after.
You're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio and Television Network. We're talking to Russell Dukes. He's the head football coach at Lenox. And in our conversation in our 8 o'clock hour with Coach Zotz, we talked about, I know quite a bit about the Armstrong-Ringsted community. Talk about Lenox and how the community has gotten behind this program that you have built and the tradition now and how the kids in the community have bought into what you're getting accomplished there, Coach.
Well, at first, we had to sell them on the idea to begin with. We didn't have a lot of success the last 2 years. We were in 11-man, and then, with the beds count being under 115, we were able to drop down. And for some reason, we just, it's just that the kids bought into the entire system. And then once we started having success, the first year we were in, we went 8-1, and we didn't qualify for the playoffs. Because at that time they were only taking the first place team out of the district. So, our community got behind us a little bit, and then the next year we made it to the finals. And ever since then, it's just been, they kind of expect this out of us year after year. But we know that sometime in the near future, next year, the year after, this run may end. You never know what's going to take place. You never know. Kids are going to move in, move out. But, we've had fantastic support from our community, from our school, from our fans. And, I've gotten emails from people I don't even know over in eastern Iowa that, 3 years ago they jumped on our bandwagon because they wanted to follow an 8-man football team. And they jumped on our bandwagon, and it's just been, growing ever since. So, it's nice to have the success, but we also realize that our success depends upon the kids that we get out for football and the dedication and the time that they put in during the off season to come to the weight room, do the conditioning. It takes a lot of time for these kids to do it, but we couldn't do it either without the parents, their support by getting the younger kids in that can't drive. So it's a great thing for our community. It really brings us together in the fall of the year, and it's just been a wonderful thing for us.
You know, you bring up a great point, too. Besides football, it's about the community. And unfortunately, because of consolidation, there's even been talks down the road, not for tonight's conversation, but that Lenox might end up consolidating. But it's tough because Friday nights in football, it makes sense, and it brings these communities with an identity.
Yeah, you're right. And, it allows us smaller schools to keep that identity. When you start consolidating, I think you lose a part of the tradition that you have in your building. I'm a Lenox graduate. I graduated down here in 1972, so it's always been Lenox Tigers for me. And it's just one of those things that eventually it's probably going to happen. But in our case, we hope it doesn't happen under our watch. But if it does, we're going to do whatever it takes to continue with our program, whether we consolidate with whoever, and if we have to go back and play A or 1A, we're going to do whatever we can to make that program successful as well.
Well, great success story. I love to hear it when alum are at their alma mater and leading the youngsters because, you know the tradition, you know the passion when you put on the uniform yourself, and now you can relay that as you have over the years to the youngsters in the community, and that's essentially what happens with programs. The Harlans of the world and the Emmitsburgs, and at your level now you're doing the same thing. How many years have you been there, Coach?
This is my 16th year here. But that's 16 years teaching. But like I said, I'm an alumni here. I never give up black and gold. So it's
I love it.
Like I've never left. So a lot of the kids that I'm coaching now are classmates of mine that had later in life children, or these guys. Some of them are kids that were freshmen when I was seniors or when I was a senior. So they all know who I am. They know what I'm about. The parents know me. It's not like it's somebody new off the street that's been here this long and trying to change everything. We're just trying to carry on a good tradition.
Coach, I remember, and Tony and I have been doing this quite a while now. I remember when they didn't let the 8-player game into the dome, and it was almost a slap in the face. And I'm sure that when they brought the 8-player championships into the dome, it was refreshing for you, and a sense of accomplishment.
Exactly. When they first brought it in, I thought that was the greatest thing that they could ever have done. Hats off to the guys in Boone. They did something that everybody enjoys. We at one time, a lot of the 8-player coaches thought that they were, we were the minor leagues. We weren't the big dogs on the street. But I really feel that the perception of 8-player football around the state has changed, and it's just not in Southwest Iowa, but it's in all four corners. We have more teams playing 8-player this year than we have in the past, and I think you get just as good a quality of football, because everybody likes to play. Everybody, the fundamentals of the game are all the same. You have to block, tackle, catch, run, pass. It's all the same game. It's just 3 less guys and smaller field. But 8-player game is also a lot faster than 11. But it's still the same traditional football game, just with a few less guys.
Well, Coach, I know when you hear the name, that boy Austin, you know that something good's happening because Austin Christensen and Austin Hancock, a great 1-2 punch there, and a couple great senior leaders for your football team.
Exactly. Those two guys have really blossomed here in the last year and a half. Austin Hancock, our quarterback, he waited in the wings until it was his turn. He's taken the reins, and he's done a heck of a job for us. Austin Christensen, he came in a year ago. He was going to be our second string back. Our fullback went down last year, so we moved our tailback to the fullback, and we put Austin in there. And Austin ran, the 7 games that he played for us there. He rushed for almost 1,000 yards. So we thought coming into this year he would be able to handle the load, and he's done more than what we expected. He's got over 1,400 yards rushing this year. Austin Hancock, again, throwing the ball for us. Yesterday's ball game, we didn't do a very good job of passing the ball, but that he has those days. And the next game out, he may be on fire throw everything right on target. But that's the way we've always had it. We've always had a really decent tailback. Our fullback is always a big bruiser back that we expect him to get 2 or 3 yards. We don't expect our fullbacks to break 60-yard runs. If they do, that's a plus that we didn't count on. But we also have some good receivers as well. Dylan Douglas does a wonderful job getting open in the field. Patrick Long has really come on this year. Again, he's a senior that didn't get to play a lot, but a year ago. But everybody just kind of come together. These guys are, just like we always say down here, we're all family and we all get along. We all, families always have bickers. So we bicker between each other, and everybody walks away friends and come back the next day and start all over.
Well, Friday, November 19th, 10:30 a.m. It's like the Ali Frazier.
It's the rubber match.
Yeah, the Ali Frazier fights back in the day, and 2 titans of 8-player going at it. And I got to ask you something on a lighter note. I get a little nervous sometimes, the Southwest Iowa guys, with those Hawkeye colors that you wear. I hope you're a Hawk fan and you haven't jumped the Missouri River like some people do and become a big Red fan, are you?
Well, no, we're still black and gold down here anyway. I don't know.
You can come on anytime you want, Coach. We love you.
All righty.
All right, man. Well, we hope that the Hawks, the big boys in that color, get a win, and we wish you success next Friday night, next Friday morning, and we'll be watching closely.
Hey, Coach, I got to say one thing before I let you go. There's a Stalker fan from Lenox that lives down in this area. He talks an awful lot about you. He acted like he was an assistant coach. You know who I'm talking about?
Who was this?
We got a Lenox fan that lives down this area. Always contacting me. He loves the Lenox program. He's a grad there. I know we talked a little bit about it. Yeah, I just want to send a little love to that guy. He loves the program.
I know who you're talking about, and he follows us everywhere we go, and he does a heck of a job. He brings things to me. He sends things. I mean, he's a true Lenox alumni fan.
All right, Coach. Well, have a great weekend, and we'll be following you next Friday morning at 10:30 in the Dome, which promises to be as great a contest as they have the last few. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.